want you to know that there's a tape, it's actually an audio tape. The Rebbe was visited by the Gerrer Rebbe, the Simcha Bunim, the Leif Simcha, who was such a good friend of the Rebbe's. Really, the Lubavitcher Chassidim have such a debt to him. His Mesiras Nefesh for the Rebbe's covered is beyond, really, be'emes. He visited the Rebbe many times before he was Rebbe, when his brother was the Rebbe, the Beis Yisrael. But as a Rebbe, he was in America just once, in 1977, Tafshin Lamed Zayin, when he first became a Rebbe, and he had a Yechidus. There's a tape of it. It's a very interesting exchange. Fascinating meeting. He was almost affectionate to the Rebbe. He was very warm. And the Rebbe was very, very action-focused. He was speaking to him about real issues. And the issue, if I'm not mistaken, was Shleimus, not exchanging land for pieces of paper, as the Rebbe would call it over the years. And the Rebbe told him that in halacha there's a criteria called dvarim b'teilim. Dvarim b'teilim means idle words. Dvarim b'teilim is asin. I'll speak dvarim b'teilim. If a person speaks about something and nothing comes of it, so when nobody else does what they spoke of, they're machshil, the speaker in dvarim b'teilim. You spoke about an issue because you think it's important, you think it's real, you think it's necessary for you to engage with. If nobody takes it and runs with it, those others who are not doing what you're suggesting that they should do make you someone who's speaking. So he told this to the Gerrer Rebbe, that because nobody is taking him seriously, he is nichshel in dvarim b'teilim. And the Gerrer Rebbe had a hard time swallowing the idea that the Rebbe is over on dvarim b'teilim. So he told the Rebbe, but Rebbe is not shaykh, but the Rebbe is not possible. But the Rebbe, it's such an interesting exchange. He came to see the Rebbe, and I don't think he had an agenda other than to see the Rebbe. If you listen to the tape, like I said, he's almost affectionate, and the Rebbe is so focused on what has to get done, so the Rebbe is talking apples and he's talking oranges. The Rebbe is talking about, I have to make this done, and the Gerrer Rebbe said to the Rebbe, I love you. You're the Rebbe, And the way I hear the tape, I've listened to it a few times. They're talking to each other, but the things that are bothering the Rebbe are not bothering the Gerrer Rebbe, not because he doesn't care about them, but because he's there to be near the Rebbe. That's enough, not to talk about a particular practical question. And he tells the Rebbe, Bam Rebbe, it's impossible to say by the Rebbe, Dvarim b'teilim. And this, yes it is. Why? Because it's got to happen. It's a very, if you listen to that tape, it's very short, maybe 5 minutes, but it's just the way they're interacting is fascinating, because they're, like I said, they're in a way on two different pages. The Gerrer Rebbe is just happy to be with the Rebbe. He asks to say l'chaim, he asks to make a bracha, which he does. And of course the Rebbe does not make a bracha with him. He makes the bracha himself. He says l'chaim by himself. The whole meeting is beautiful. But the Gerrer Rebbe had one agenda, and the Rebbe had another agenda. The Gerrer Rebbe then was to meet the Rebbe. The Rebbe then was to talk about something that needs to get done, Otherwise it's so you come to a child,